This morning, city leaders in Social Circle are concerned about the possibility of an ICE detention center opening in their community.
Atlanta News First Niamani Watson is live in Social Circle. So Niamani, many people in the community are against these plans.
That's right, including the mayor and city manager. City leaders say they're still working to confirm whether it's actually happening. But if there are plans for a detention center in the area, they say they're going to do their best to try and stop it. Now, the city heard of a possibility of an ICE facility through a Washington Post article published last month. City manager Eric Taylor says he's 100% against it, citing a number of concerns like a lack of water and sewer infrastructure and a strain on public safety. Taylor says they haven't received any real answer yet as to whether it's happening or not, but he says there is a new 1.2 million square foot warehouse on Knox Chapel Road that could house the facility. Taylor says when they reached out to the property owner of the warehouse, the company said they couldn't discuss the project because they are under a non-disclosure agreement. Now, if the plan does move forward, Taylor says the next steps depend on whether the federal government or a private company ends up owning the property.
We are checking into what our authority is to stop this. The U.S. Constitution has a supremacy clause that says that the federal government is not subject to laws and regulations of state and local government. If it is owned by a private firm, then we would certainly have more options at our disposal.
Now, we have reached out to the warehouse property owner and the Department of Homeland Security to learn more details about a possible detention center. We have yet to hear back. City leaders say they're also reaching out to federal and state officials about the possibility of an ICE facility in their community. Live in Social Circle, I'm Niamani Watson, Atlanta News.